where I'm at, so it's definitely concrete spewed jean jacket edition, but we still gotta look cool though, so it's denim over leather, just because leather's a little too bulky, but alright, so this is certainly not to put anybody on blast or call anybody out, because I'm sure if they had it their way, the organizers behind the Psycho Las Vegas Festival would have had it actually happen last year instead of not happen, and we never really got a detailed explanation as to why it didn't happen, but regardless, the big question is it gonna happen this year? Well, perhaps not, and I only say perhaps because they haven't issued any official statement yet, but someone from one of the Facebook groups yesterday posted an exchange where details about refunds were shared, but again, I don't know, no actual announcement yet. But for those not in the loop, just to show you how awesome this thing was, let me give you a short list of some of the bands that played each year. And the history is that it actually started in Cali in 2013, but only as a one-day event when it was called Psycho de Mayo. And then in 16, it moved to Hard Rock in Vegas. But check this out. We'll start at the 2015 edition, because that's officially when it became a multi-day event. And the lineups got more stacked in the years following, but check this out. In 2015, all on the same bill, and again, these are just some of the acts: Sleep, Bongzilla, I Hate God, Acid Witch, Sourvein, Pentagram, Ohm, Mothership. Now right there, those are 9 heavyweights of 59 bands total. That was 2015. You had a pretty obviously doom and sludge leaning lineup, but they were also next to other bands with different styles like Municipal Waste, Cave-In, and Kylesa, not to mention a whole bunch of other acts. Following year, again at the Hard Rock, and this time there was an additional stage at the Pool. Here's a partial list: Down, Alice Cooper, Candlemass, Pentagram, Electric Wizard, Blue Oyster Cult, High on Fire, Acid King, Bong Ripper, Great Electric Quest, Sleep, Fu Manchu, Fireball Ministry, Fatso Jetson, and Witch Mountain. And if you were into either slightly or very different styles, you also had other stuff like Baroness, Elder, Converge, and Mudhoney. That is a pretty awesome fest, but in 17, the magnificence continues. Partial list: King Diamond, Ace Frehley, Corrosion of Conformity, Gatecreeper, Carcass, Neurosis, Sleep, Pentagram, Weed Eater, Mothership, Great Electric Quest, Diamond Head, Sirith Ungol, ABBATH, Slow Burn, Manila Road, not to mention other bands that lots of people seem to like Mastodon and Melvins, or for that diversity, Ghost, like the synthwave Ghost, and Murder City Devils and Gojira. 18, still at the Hard Rock, partially it looked like this: Danzig doing all of How the Gods Kill, High on Fire, I Hate God, Weed Eater, Unearthly Trance, Fireball Ministry, Yakuza, Demille Bourgier, Helicopters, which, man, for as good as they are, if I could swap them with somebody else, I don't know, man, I might say that side band Nick Anderson's got, Imperial State Electric, Andrew WK, Sun, Enslaved, Zach Sabbath, Primitive Man, and then for the other or miscellaneous bands, and by that, that's not like a knock to them at all. It's just like their styles are a little different from the, more straight ahead rock or metal like the others. Like, for instance, American Nightmare, that's a hardcore band, but they played too. Fuck! Blooper or Godflesh, Today is the Day, Integrity, Rocket from the Crypt, Mutoid Man, King Buffalo. Those are all, kind of different from the pack. Then in 19, partially, Misfits, Glenn, Jerry, and Doyle, and Minor, Phil Anselmo's Downtempo project. Power Trip, 1349, Electric Wizard, High on Fire, Perturbator, COC, Primitive Man, Yakuza, Uncle Acid and the Deadbeats, Godspeed You Black Emperor, Fu Manchu, Goat Whore, Clutch, Carcass, Obsessed, Opeth, Weed Eater, Violence, and Andrew WK, among many others. Obviously in 2020, Psycho didn't happen, so the following year, and this was my live introduction to it, man did it rule. Oh, and a major change, it moved from Hard Rock to Mandalay Bay. Beautiful, beautiful spot on the Strip. One of my favorites, no question. I'll put it like this. Have you ever had one of those points in your life where it's just seemed like prolonged suck? Just one lame thing after the other, after the other, after the other. Maybe it's like that for some of you right now, in which case, I hope it ends soon for you, man. But then out of the blue, something cool happens. Yeah, much of the tail end of 2020 was like that for me and bleeding into 21. And it didn't even have to do with being shut in. It was just like general shit. But okay, so slowly the world starts opening up again, live events are going on again, and by like April I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm going on vacation somewhere this year, man. I'm out of here. I was leaning hard towards St. Thomas because I've never been to a tropical island before and everybody says it's beautiful. But then Psycho 21 gets announced and the lineup was just way too good to ignore. F it, I booked a ticket and come August, I was there, man. Now, some of the Euro bands I was really looking forward to seeing couldn't get their visas cleared or something, or who knows why. So Emperor, Satyricon, and Mayhem postponed. But here's who I got to see. DANZIG doing All Illusifuge, Cannibal Corpse at the Pool, Cephalic Carnage, Silvertomb, Phil getting interviewed by Bruce Lamont from Yakuza, which I ended up turning into a video that even a year later still gets lots of views all the time. Down doing All Enola, which I was right against the gate for, and Chase Stevens, he's a photographer in the area for the Review Journal, got this shot of me. Yeah, real flattering, huh? But Cult of Fire, Exodus, Weed Eater, Stoner, Brad Bjork's band, Cyclona, Obituary, and let me just say something real quick about Obituary. First off, they played inside the arena. I walked in during what I know now as Find the Arise, because for years Obituary played at a million shows I'd gone to, and for whatever totally stupid reason I'd always ignored them. No idea why. But anyway, dude, I've said this before in other videos, but that Michelob Ultralight Arena in Mandalay Bay, unmatched, no other equivalent. That has got to be the best sounding venue for live music in all of America, period. Just absolutely hyper incredible. I've been to concerts at a fair amount of arenas in the US. Madison Square Garden, Joe Louis in Detroit, even Cobo, Pontiac Silverdome, Palace of Auburn Hills, Capital One in DC, Fleet Center in Boston, a lot of others. None of them come anywhere near Michelob Ultra. Pristine, crystal clear noise, just brilliant. And Obituary with their frequent use of like, those really high-pitched squealy solos. I walked in during the first solo of Find the Arise and bam, instantly I was a fan, man, for life. Holy shit. And not to mention like the stage setup for all the bands and the lights inside. Amazing. These perfectly positioned lasers that change color and do all sorts of weird stuff, and these big like LED display things and this and that, but just indescribable how awesome that venue is. And with metal bands playing on its stage too, man. Oh yeah, so also other big names of the bill: Mastodon, Violence, The Sword, Health, Exhorter, which, how funny is this? They played in the House of Blues, right? Which is like, it's kind of deep underneath Mandalay Bay, which that's sort of cool on its own, because 1 second you're in this giant place, and then you go down these like really long, steep stairs, and it's a whole other huge place. Pretty wild. But okay, so this was in August of 21, so you still had a lot of people very concerned about getting sick and stuff, so tons of people all close together in this petri dish down there. And during Exhorter's set, at one point Kyle takes a swig of water and then just spits it all up in the air all over the crowd and stuff. Hilarious. But yeah, so Mothership, Hippie Death Cult, I Hate God, Dying Fetus, Primitive Man, Pig Destroyer, Thievery Corporation for the diversity, and actually there was a pretty decent amount of like post-hardcore sort of stuff too. Cursive, Death by Stereo, Boy Sets Fire, Poison the Well, 18 Visions, like that sort of thing, and the list just kept going on and on. Midnight, Repulsion, Devourment, Immolation, Integrity. You know what's pretty astounding too? If you think about all the stuff that was going on at the time with like protocols and this and that, this festival so easily could have been an enormous train wreck, just like untold amounts of shit. However, the people behind it all, from the booking promoters themselves to the event staff on the ground to the Mandalay Bay staff, gold, man, pure gold. And how about that too? Think about how Mandalay Bay is normally a very family-friendly, family-fun place, and now you got all these like animal-looking, cave-dwelling-looking lunatics and all black and then spikes and God knows what else. Yet we were all getting the same level of kindness as anyone else. Employees happy to see people having a good time and enjoying everything around them, and like, it was just so positive. That's the best way I can describe it. It was just exploding with positivity, man. I'm not sure I'll ever be able to properly sum up just what an amazing time I had, and I stayed in Vegas for a week afterward because I love it, and just to this day I'm just so thankful I got to go. However, the following year I went to that too. But since this video wasn't intended to be my personal blog or like a review of any of the shows, but rather just to try and illustrate how awesome this festival was based on the number of good bands all together at once, I'll again give you a small list of some of them, and if you want to hear why the 2022 edition was kind of a bummer, I'll tell you afterward. Oh, and actually this year it switched venues to the fairly new Resorts World. Maybe that's a hint. But yeah, Resorts World, that used to be Stardust. Emperor, Merciful Fate, Suicidal Tendencies, Mayhem, Carcass, At the Gates, High on Fire, Paradise Lost, Violence, Catatonia, Elder, Midwa, Sirith Ungal, Primitive Man, Gatecreeper, ABBATH with his Motorhead tribute band Bombers, Blood Incantation, Mothership, Witch Mountain, Frozen Soul, Yakuza, Cyclona, Early Moods, Hippie Death Cult, Rip Lord, Leatherlung, Great Electric Quest, and for the more diverse stuff, Carpenter Brute, Dance with the Dead, and Lotion Multinational Corporation. Another very strong package all around. Still, sadly, no Satyricon though, but here's the thing, and it's taken me a while to admit this because I've been looking so damn forward to the fest all year. I mean, literally from the moment 21 ended, I just wanted to go back. But with it being at Resorts World, a beautiful hotel, don't get me wrong, it's beautiful. But I don't know, man, it just wasn't the same as Mandalay Bay. One major reason why is because of the big stage, right? The main stage. It was actually just kind of a field with AstroTurf and like outdoors under this giant sort of shell thing overhead. So that meant no arena. And then for other reasons too. One being I knew when it was over I was going back to a world of shit, because right as I was pulling into the parking garage at Reagan International, I must have driven over glass or, you know, a friggin' railroad spike or something, because totally popped my tire, so I knew I was gonna have to deal with that. And I did, and it totally bit the big one. And I couldn't get extra days off from my lame job at the time, even though I had the vacation time. So just, you know, stuff like that, pissed all over it. But number one reason though, I just majorly preferred it being at Mandalay Bay over Resorts World. But, you know, so that brings us to 24, because as I kind of touched upon at the beginning of the video, 23, for which I bought tickets for even before seeing any of the bands play in 22, like through the early bird special. But 23 got postponed to 24 for reasons I don't think anybody ever really understood. They just kind of lightly hinted at the reason having been an inability to book a lot of the bands they would have wanted to or something. So as a result, tickets for 23 would have been honored this year. But again, looks like they may be canceling this year too. That sucks, man. That absolutely positively sucks, because I friggin' love this festival, man. For so many years, they were able to somehow get tons and tons of awesome bands in a city which, in my opinion, is wonderful and fantastic for so many reasons. But I love the Psycho brand and its art and the sort of coverage they gave it all online, and I really hope to high hell that it's not RIP Psycho Fest and just simply postponed again until next year. But I don't know, man, maybe we'll find out for sure soon. But alright, metalheads, you're all the man, even if you're a chick. And I hope you liked this video, because if you did, cool, maybe you can give it a thumbs up. Or if you just like hearing somebody bullshit about heavy metal, then hit that subscribe button, dude. We'll see you next time on Concrete Spew, which is actually going to be another in-person interview with a band. Yeah, my friends in the real fun-loving, thrash and roll, death and grind outfit, Drive-By Bukkake, are coming through Richmond Monday, and I'm going to see them. So I'll have an interview with those dudes to show you real shortly afterward. I'm psyched. But until then, stay awesome, stay psychotic, and stay heavy metal, my friends.